This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Presence. It was written by Shane Ivey, and it's available from Arc Dream Publishing. Our handler is Nathan Decker, and this is episode 4. Our recap will be given by Stefan Amshi as his character, Agent Kendrick. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Stefan?
Personal report, K-Cell, 2023-0408. Agent Kendrick, 745-20-2194, November, Zulu, Lima. Tagged, personal and confidential, not for distribution. 1 year, 4 months, 11 days since the incident. The rest of the team still doesn't know anything about it. Probably better if it stays that way. My last 24 hours at the opera is looking more like amateur karaoke night. Our stated mission was to gather intel on an anomalous event just a few days ago centered around one Robin Bullock. The event appeared to involve near instantaneous transportation of the target around 1,600 clicks from Alabama all the way to Vermont. Our team is led by experienced agent codenamed Carrot. He's good with intel, probably a trained analyst, and that helped us get organized early on. But he's got his hands full doing most of it himself now because our other two team members, Crispy and Kinsey, have become impaired. Agent Crispy is having some kind of meltdown. He's unable to sleep and complains about nightmares. Whatever it is, I worry that he's becoming more of a liability than an asset, and I know I'm not alone. Now Kinsey seems to have gotten the bug too. The conversation when we left Vermont was mainly around interpreting their dreams, so let's just say, if this mission is going to succeed, it looks like it's on Kramer and I to step up. The good news is, Kramer is solid. I feel good about him watching my 6. The bad news is, our first mission together was completely foobar. We tailed the target and her sister onto a flight back to Alabama. I tried to plant a tracker on the flight, but one of the targets spotted me on the plane before I could get it done. We tried one more time after our arrival at the airport in Alabama, but that went all pear-shaped too. If the target wasn't onto us before, she definitely is now. We have a few other leads to follow up on, but something in my gut told me to stay on the primary target. Sure enough, Kramer and I spotted a new player. A woman in a blue SUV watching the primary target's house, and this time we managed to keep it together long enough to tag it with a tracker. As luck would have it, the SUV went straight to the local hotspot where the previous events occurred. If we could get a first-hand observation, we might still be able to turn this night at the opera around. My gut tells me we need to hurry though. Things are happening outside our view, and now that the target is onto us, the next 24 hours are critical. Carrot, Crispy, and Kinsey are on their way down to Alabama to join us, but Kramer and I already know where we need to go, and the clock is ticking.
All right. Very good. So I'd like to, at this point, if it's all right with everybody, have the agents meet up as the flight lands, and Kendrick and Kramer, you probably need to get a little bit of rest after this. So if it's all right and no one has any complaints, we'll meet up at about 6 in the morning as the agents that took the flight arrive. Where did you guys, did you stake out a spot? Did you get a hotel? Where do you think you're meeting up?
Ramada Inn.
Mix it up.
There was one thing I wanted to kind of retcon a little bit. We managed to get through that whole conversation in the shop last time with the Reed.
Yes.
And we totally did not ask him about the description of Darla. So
Yes.
if there's still time after we leave, I'll just call him on the cell phone and just say, "Oh, by the way, can you like we're gonna have to look for her and
Mhm.
can you offer like what does she look like?"
Yeah, no, that's perfect. He
Okay.
does, and you probably tell Kramer it sounds exactly like the woman in the blue SUV.
I had a feeling that would be
The
the case.
yep, the dark hair, maybe young 50s.
Okay. Okay. That's the only thing I wanted to do before then. So thank you.
All right, in that case, the Ramada Inn doors open, and if it isn't your three other agents.
Oh,
Yes.
that was a long trip.
Welcome to Alabama.
Although we could learn how to travel that distance in a short period of time.
That would be convenient. I can never sleep on the plane and I'm ready to go back to bed, honestly.
So
Hey,
what do you guys?
before
Go
before you
ahead.
guys just like completely just drop off the radar here for a while, let's talk about what we got here. We got this, we picked up a new potential lead, and it might be time dependent. Someone has been following the uh the Bullock girl, Robin Bullock, and we managed to get a tracker onto their car, and we watched their car go straight out to the hot spot near where all the other girls have disappeared.
Mm.
We don't know anything about it, but she fits the description of Darla from the shopkeeper.
Um, does Darla have anything to do with Estelle's insights, or was that something else? Uh, we found a whole bunch of uh, tax records and stuff for Estelle's insights, and it looks like they were either into money laundering or definitely were cooking the books. Uh,
We also found a strange incantation or
yeah,
magical situation hidden away in these records that made many of us feel uncomfortable who read it.
yeah, we brought it with us. We also had some other very strange encounters that we all three of us saw together.
Mhm.
Uh,
Anything you care to share?
well, it's hard to describe. We were inside. I had gotten a message from Delta Green concerning what I'd asked him for a green box, and I'm not sure really if it was a green box or if it was just a location they were sending us to, but it was a house. We got there, we found these records for the shop, but in the midst of it, Crispy walked outside and started to have, okay, I'm going to say it. He started to have a vision of a little girl.
Well, it was the opposite. I saw the little girl and I went outside with her.
Uh,
It was very strange. And then
the,
I was
the
somewhere
odd
else.
thing was is that when Carrot and I realized that he wasn't there anymore, we went looking for him and we found him outside, and we saw the little girl, and there was something behind it,
Okay.
and we don't know how to describe it, but there were also some sort of cables or umbilicals that seemed to attach to Crispy and Carrot. I didn't seem to have one that vibrated like a reminded me of a spider web. And the little girl wanted us to come and rescue her, whatever that meant. But we think that, I mean, do we think that she's dead?
I'm not so sure about dead, perhaps in a level of psychic distress. If this kid is alive, I would be concerned that potentially they are being held in a situation where they are unable to escape. And so like they mentioned their mother a lot. They mentioned
Yeah.
and when I asked their name, they said their name was Karen. Now I don't know how many Karens there are in Alabama. I imagine there are a lot.
Aaron Valdez, wasn't it? We run across that name, Valdez.
Potentially when we were looking through
That's
the
the
store
name.
records.
That's the name that the van was registered
Was
to.
registered under.
Mm.
Yeah,
The van that you tracked out to the hotspot?
correct.
Yeah.
Huh.
It appears
We
our
know that
leads have converged.
It does.
we know that Karen's family seemed to be plagued with some pretty harsh stuff. Husband had died, first daughter had died.
Hmm.
Um,
They all seem to be terribly ill. Yeah.
did anything weird happen to you when you were following Robin and her sister,
Besides
Amelia?
the fact that she seemed to know that we were following her from the start, no.
I don't know what's going on here, but it sounds as ridiculous to say it, but I just get the smell of witches. Something witchy is going on here.
I mean, okay, but maybe we just go out to this spot, we find this van, and we bring a camcorder, and if we can get a recording of an event, like that seems to me like a score, right?
Yes. But Kendrick, in my experience, leads don't converge on operas unless, uh, for want of a better term, shit is about to go down. So if we're bringing cameras, they should be body mounted, and we should be
Bring this
arming
kind of a
ourselves with
shooter.
yeah. Keep your hands free for any kind of tactical interference we may need to run,
It also,
and no live streams.
You'd think you wouldn't have to say it. I
You'd
did want to
think.
ask, did anybody register that they brought their gun along with them? Or are you planning to get guns in Alabama? Everybody has a gun. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
you got the
Alabama.
one from the airport that they hand you as you
Yeah.
Right.
come
Add
into Alabama,
baggage,
right?
baggage claim.
Right.
we made the joke, but yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not actually sure how that would work. If I had this and I had put this in my suitcase and it
Yeah,
was
I don't
loaded
think,
in, would it ever be
no, I don't think you have to register. I
noticed?
don't think you have to say anything if it's in your suitcase and it gets loaded in
I think they might check your license, but I'm far from an expert about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd have to check it. Obviously, you're not bringing it in your
Yeah.
carry-on.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't make it in your
Yeah.
carry-on, I don't think you need to do anything special.
The thing is it's really hard to find a gun with no serial number on it.
So I don't want to spend a ton of time on finding guns
Okay.
just from the side of you have it and you have a few options. So I'm mostly just asking how you do it because you are in Alabama. It is early in the morning. There's a few options. You could see if there's a gun show going on. You could rob a gun store. You could rob someone's house. At some point you're going to get some probably hunting weapons. What's your MO for your group?
Well, I
I
wouldn't want to waste any more than one person doing
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I mean, I know guns. I can go collect guns for
Same here.
the group.
I'm wondering if
Yeah.
there's a local green box now that we're in Alabama.
Yeah.
Think that you could ask. That's probably going to take some time for
Hours, yeah.
your handler to figure it out, but you can definitely start that, research going.
I will start that message.
Okay.
We need not information on local green boxes.
Right.
I don't know. How good's my stealth? Let me see.
Yeah, I guess if I'm going to be, if we're going to be in charge of doing that, if there is no green box, we should have a plan B. So I will just start looking up on the internet or whatever,
Well,
local
if it's
options.
Yeah.
if it's 6 in the morning, we got 3 hours before gun stores even open.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and Kendrick, you do find some auctions going on today, so it's more just a matter of going in, telling them that, yes, we came down here and wouldn't you believe it? We forgot our hunting licenses. Dag nabbit.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you're selling it to us as a private citizen and thus don't need to do all these background checks. And you all, let's say you've got guns. So tell me what kind of guns you get. Don't go too crazy. They're not selling miniguns. Unless I think it would be very funny.
No,
But
I
I don't
think
think
I
it
would opt for an AR style rifle if that
Yep.
was available, and a pistol, probably a 45 caliber pistol of some sort, like
Go for a hand pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll count it as a medium pistol, and I think you had a carbine sort of already on your character sheet, so using those, I think you had that.
Yeah.
um,
M14.
I'm not sure. It's okay. Yeah, I can figure it out.
Sweet.
And as
Kramer, you were
always,
saying something?
Oh no, I was just just like an M14 rifle and and Desert Eagle 50 cal.
All right.
Like a heavy handgun.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going a little bigger. I'll find the stats for that shortly, but all right. So the soldier and the spec ops are going in heavy. What about the other three?
Just a
Just-
standard issue pistol.
Just a pistol.
Yep.
Because I'm a medical guy. I'm not really a gun toter, but I can fight.
If we think it's going to be bad, I was going to ask for something like a P90, a sort of SWAT rifle. I think that's what Nicholas Rage is most familiar with from his previous career.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just kind of loop those in under the light rifle carbine sort of feel, because that's a nice D12. So it gets a
Cool.
little love with a 10% lethality if you're just spraying and praying. That lowers
Nice.
your ammo capacity a little bit, but a lethality is always nice to have. It also has 3 armor piercing.
Awesome.
So yeah, you've got your Ramada in. It now has a number of pistols and decent rifles, that sort of thing. And we'll say that also gets you hear back from Agent Jeepers, and she did not have any luck in finding a green box around here. It maybe there were some, but they're just not on the list she's looking for.
So, no grenades, no tear gas, no.
You could probably find some grenades around there. Yeah.
Some explosive grenades.
Oh, so
I would absolutely want to grab a couple of those if that was.
yeah, or at least a couple flash bangs just for like stunning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 2 flash bangs if that's possible.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. I don't want you guys to feel afraid as I give you all these nice weapons, but feel free.
Yeah, this is a really bad sign. Just quietly, this is a really really bad sign.
For who?
Where is
Yeah.
this going?
While everyone is armoring up, I'd love to do a bit of further research onto Karen Valdez.
Yep.
Just because now because we converge onto her, I'd rather go in with as much information as possible before we confront potentially a witch of some sort.
Absolutely. How are you researching her?
So the Occult Shops Facebook group is the real first port of call. Does she have an account there? Is she banned from there? What sort of behavior does she exhibit online? If expanding out from there, then going into police records, just finding any kind of like photograph of her I can.
Yep.
Just getting a picture of what this woman's like.
Yeah, that's pretty easy with your computer knowledge. You find that she does have an account on Bam Bell and Shadow. It has not been active for a couple of years. It looks like she was on there before, and you get more of the feeling of someone that was interested in like crystals and the holistic healing and other effects of healing. And you start to put together more of a picture as you find out that she has a Facebook page, we'll say, where she was a pediatric doctor in a nearby town. But a year after her youngest daughter, Sylvia, passed away, she left. So it's been a couple years since she's worked there. You notice as well that she does have pictures of her with a little girl that you have seen a little older in the pictures that you like when you saw her in the flesh, um, named Sydney. And her husband and it looks like mother-in-law also passed in the years before that. I can give you exact numbers if you need them, but it's kind of a 1, 2, 3 with a couple years in between.
Yeah, wow, poor girl. Um, yeah, far out. Okay, this is very good information to know. So once the A teams come back from their shopping spree, I'll sit everyone down and sort of explain what sort of situation we're going into here. Like this lady's probably not in the best of ways. We're probably going to find something that's not very pleasant. Um, and yeah. Oh, I'd also like to try and find her home address. That's the other thing.
Yes, when you look that up, you get that she lives near Goodwater, which is a small town, which, if you look at the maps that you've been given, matches up with roughly where her that tracker went to.
Cool.
And it's kind of out in the, the remote areas where there's not really an address necessarily. Maybe the mail keeper there would know how to get to her place, but if you didn't
Yeah,
have the
too easy.
tracker, there's no chance you would find her just randomly.
Yeah. In Australia, we call that in the boonies. Um,
All of that too.
Precisely. Yes, precisely.
Beauty.
Can we
All right.
take a moment to talk about ROE?
ROE, I'm sorry.
Rules of engagement?
Well, herein lies a problem. We don't know what's going on. I'm starting to get more and more of a feeling like turning to uh, let's see, turning to methods that are banned by Delta Green. She might be trying to save her child using, instead of herbalism, some sort of magic. We don't know if what she's doing is wrong in the sense of she might be trying to do a good thing. She's using the wrong method, so it's malfeasance if it's anything at all. And technically, we have to stop her. So,
by any means, or
So
well,
are we
if
allowed to
she-
shoot her or aren't we?
I think we have to wait until we're in the middle of the situation to decide that. If we don't shoot her, how do we guarantee that she cannot continue to use? I don't think Delta Green wants us to leave her.
Well, who makes the call?
You can be a dangerous actor. This is true. I think what Kinsey is trying to tell you is that she is probably going to try and use her sick and or dying or dead child as leverage to keep her alive. The reality of the situation, as I see it going in, is we're probably going to have to end the experiences, to speak euphemistically, of all parties involved in this. innocent or otherwise.
I mean,
And
I
it's
can offer as an alternative if there's a way to stop it from happening where we end up making her look like she's crazy, because the newspapers don't believe, the police don't believe any of this stuff. And she can run around saying anything she wants about magic. If we can stop her from being able to do it anymore, then we might not have to kill her. We might just have to discredit her. I don't know which is worse.
Well, look, when
Yeah.
when the time comes and the bullets start flying, you just tell me who I'm not supposed to shoot. Keep it simple.
Yeah, we
look, go for it, Kramer.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, needing clear rules of engagement, because when the poop hits the fan, we won't be able to calmly discuss what target to take. So
Yeah.
if one of us gets dropped, then all bets are off. Or
Yes.
Well,
Look, the behavior has escalated, unfortunately. With these previous replicates of behavior, and then for you to find her van, if not her herself, um, following back up on Robin, it really concerns me that this behavior isn't going to stop until someone is dead anyway. And it's sort of our job to put an end to things before that gets to that point. Yes.
yeah, I mean, technically, we're not. Our loyalty is to Delta Green, I guess, and
Yeah.
we're supposed to stop these things from happening. We don't need to ask questions. So maybe it is by any means possible.
what did Agent Jeebers? This okay? To the handler. Um, Agent Jeebers gave us like a clear, concise end result desired. What was
Yes.
that again? Just for
Generally, for these, it is stop the unnatural. That is number one with a bullet. The lowest priority you have is to save people.
Right.
And so
Cover
in
it
this
up.
case, she was hoping, and she expressed this to you, it's been a few weeks of this is one of the few times you might be able to save people because she hopes you've caught it fast enough. So you kind of get the sense that Jeepers is trusting you guys to make the call, but to end it before someone gets hurt.
If
okay.
she's got a magical tome, get the tome. Without the magical tome, she can't do anything. I don't know if there's a tome or not. There's a lot of times there's a tome.
Yeah. Well, my concern would then be if we take that away from her, to what extent does she continue pursuing this? Do we give her another chance only for her to take that and become even worse than she ever was?
And if it's
I'm
written,
concerned.
what's to say she hasn't made a copy of it?
Well, she might not be that, thinking that far ahead.
Yeah,
But
people that get involved in this tend to get really swept up in it all, Kramer. It's rare that you find someone who is very methodical about it unless they really know what they're doing.
that is a big assumption, though. Just something to think about.
Well,
Yes.
when worse comes to worse, we just eliminate everybody involved.
Yeah, but honestly, my thought process is she needs to be incapacitated or perhaps killed. And the level of that is going to come when we come face to face. Unfortunately, there's
Okay.
no nice way of saying it.
Also afraid that this doesn't answer all of the questions because the things that we saw them in Vermont.
Yeah.
The little girl and the strings and that
Yeah,
weirdness.
I imagine the strings were tethering us to this little girl,
Maybe.
and this poor thing is so desperate for help that this this entire incident has just
It was
made
something
it
else
reach
there.
out and out and out.
I'm not so sure that the little girl wasn't just a lie that it was telling us to get us to obey, when in fact it might have. I mean, I got a real spider vibe from those strings,
Mm.
you know, come save me and then have lunch with me. I mean, there's no giant spiders, but maybe there are. And we still
When
don't know why the jumping from one part of the country to another. The little girl, right at the end, didn't she sort of snap back like she was on an elastic string and was yanked away from us? Is that the impression you
Kinda,
got, Garrett?
yeah. Yeah.
So maybe this is stretching them across the country. And the little girl snapped back. We knew what direction we were facing at that time. All right.
I think you actually did know that it was roughly in this direction. Like it was southwest from where you were at the time.
Maybe she stretched herself all the way to Vermont and got snapped back to Alabama. Maybe Robin got snapped back or stretched.
Do we have an image of Karen's house from Agent Carrot's research?
Oh, that is a great question. Yes, I suppose you probably would. There is a beautiful white two-story house that, especially in the later pictures, probably needs a new uh lick of paint on it.
And in
It's
seeing that picture, does it look like the one that I had the dream of?
It does,
and the one I saw outside the green box.
indeed.
It's interesting how all of us are being targeted with these images, visions, and encounters. It is almost as if they precisely know us to target for this, which has me really concerned as to just how much they know about us. Are they researching us as much as we're researching them?
I think if it's real magic, she'll have gotten in touch with something greater than all of everyone and all of us, and who would know us better than we are know ourselves. And looking around at the room, I think everyone's going to look at me like I'm crazy. And oh, well, or maybe we should just save the kids. I don't know. They seemed afraid of their mother.
Um, Agent Crispy, I wanted to do this away from everyone else, but it, your familial status concerns me slightly moving forward in this operation. Um, I am not going to outright tell you to stay back and try your best to only deal with the mother. But some of us who no longer have that to lose that you now possess may have wished the opportunity for that sort of a choice.
My son Davis. You're suggesting
Uh,
that I protect myself for him, or
I'm saying that you don't want to see us kill a kid.
I don't think I could let that happen.
And
I
if you
think you're
get in the
right.
way of Delta Green operations, then you become an enemy of Delta Green.
Is Delta Green
Yeah.
in the habit of killing children, Agent Carrot?
Only when explicitly necessary. And no, I don't fucking enjoy it.
We'll hope it doesn't become necessary then.
This could
All
be
right.
a tricky one.
Yeah, let's suit up and go. The time for action is now.
All right. So, all the guns. You do the suit up montage. Velcro is being wrapped around, and then you all get in the rental and putter out into the middle of the woods, I suppose. It is a beautiful sunny day. It is reaching around noon by the time that you hit the town of Goodwater. It definitely feels, as you said, out in the boonies, lots of pickup trucks pass you on the road. You get into town and there's a stoplight, which is pretty impressive. And you go right past it, take a right. You're kind of having to work your way back towards this location. And in fact, a few times you take a road that you think, maybe that leads back there, and it dead ends. You have to turn back around. And eventually you are able to find your way deep into these woods. It is starting to heat up as the day increases, and it is in the woods that you are going. There is a thick bramble around you as you start to go up a incline towards what you think is a house. It looks like it's on top of a hill. And I would like to know first who's driving, and then I would like everybody to make an alertness roll.
I'll drive.
Okay. Then everybody make an alertness roll.
Oh,
31 out of 50.
6
Okay.
under 50.
Exactly 60 on 60.
Okay. That
triple
is a success.
zero.
Okay.
Not good. Not good that I'm driving.
Yep. No, it is not. Agent Kinsey, what you're noticing is that there are a lot of any sign around here has bullet holes in it, like the stop signs, everything. You think this is a pretty well armed area. Carrot, maybe you're just weighing and watching the others. But as the other three are rolling along slowly through these woods, they start up the hill. And Kinsey, you don't notice that the car starts to speed up a little bit, even though you're trying to just keep a normal speed. And Crispy, Kramer, and Kendrick make a sanity roll. As you're going up this hill, you're seeing pebbles get kicked by the tire. And instead of going down the hill, they start to roll up along with you.
Whoa, that's
Crit failure. 55 over
success.
Good
40.
news, it's only a 1 on a failure,
Okay.
a 0 on a success.
Are you guys seeing this?
What are you guys seeing?
unnerving.
I don't know.
What's wrong with the engine? It's going.
Must be-
It's not slowing down.
Must be tired or something.
Yep. And Kinsey, you can hit the brakes, like you can
Yeah.
slow it down, but if you let it go, it starts
picks up.
moving up the hill. Well, yeah.
It's the opposite of what you'd expect.
We're in its clutches already. Fuck.
Yeah.
And you
I'm gonna
yeah.
push down the brakes. See if I can get
Yep.
the truck to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not like a massive force, but like the little pebbles that you're seeing look like they have
Can we
enough to go.
feel something pulling forward?
Yeah, if you take a moment, there does seem to be a weird, maybe it's an optical illusion, like a gravity hill, they're called,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it seems like things are going uphill, but they're really not.
You're really
That's
going
probably what it
downhill.
is. Right. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I'm going
It's
to
an
take hold of
optical
my gun
illusion.
and check my seatbelt.
Yeah.
We're Kendrick and I aren't getting the urges to like pull the pins on our grenades and just hold.
No, you're not, but that's an interesting thought to cross your mind as you're in the car with your other agents.
I'm going to proceed cautiously.
Yes, you're slowly now rolling up this hill, and in the bright noon sun, it's very clear that there are a number of fairly new signs up for no trespassing, no solicitors that are along the road. Someone was being very intentional of putting these around. And you start to get glimpses up this driveway. It curves like this. There is the two-story White House that you saw, but at this point it is completely choked in vines and bramble. The front yard is completely overgrown at this point. It's it's been neglected for years, very clearly, but the driveway is still passable, right? Like cars have been going back and forth, and you actually can get a glimpse of a blue SUV parked alongside the building. But
Is
before you
that
guys get that far, yeah, I wanna see what you guys are planning.
does this feeling get stronger as if we're
Maybe fractionally.
does anybody have a necklace or a chain or something that I can this is one of those weird almost feels like gravity's a little different. It could still be an optical illusion, but I'd like to hang something like a plumb bob and see if it swings forward towards the house.
Does.
Mm.
Yep. Seems that that's the direction that it wants to go.
Should we
I might be wearing dog tags. I'll give him those.
Yeah, I like
see if they
that.
hang straight down or if they hang forward?
Yep. At an angle.
Should we park and get out and sneak up?
Oh yeah, 100 meters out at least.
All right.
And
So
one of
I'll
these
park
should
the car.
Okay.
arc around back.
I'd
So
like to
even
send
though
a quick sit rep to Agent Jeepers just to tell them where we are and what we're doing.
Okay.
It feels
Makes
so
sense.
much like we're going uphill, but at the same time it feels like we're looking down into a pit because the pull is that direction.
And I would like everybody to give me another alertness roll. And Kendrick and Kramer, you can have it at a +20.
Oh wow, I nailed it hardcore. 008 out of 50 plus 20, 70.
I actually failed it even with the +20, but we'll see.
I got a 34 out of 40, so I just barely
Okay.
passed.
Kramer and Kinsey, as you are looking at this house, Kramer, you recognize that front porch that you saw in your vision. You're imagining almost the baseball diamond shape there, the weird move around, and you notice as well as Kinsey that there are motion sensors attached to cameras at every corner of the house. And it looks like there are floodlights, but of course it's the middle of the day. You don't know if they'd turn on, but they would definitely be available. And that all of the windows have blackout curtains. There's very obviously no way for you to see in as you're approaching.
From our experience in surveillance, I point this out to Kendrick because he would probably have the best experience with surveillance and things like that. And would we have an understanding of the range on the motion sensors?
Yes, you think if
like
you break
10,
the tree line, yeah, it's probably about the tree line. If you get out past that, if you start going across the lawn, up the driveway, it's probably going to ping on the motion sensor.
Where's the power coming from? Are there power lines coming up the hill?
Yes, there is a power line. Looks like it is towards the back of the house, leading away.
When it leads away, does it go to a power box on the ground and then go underground, or is it in poles up in the trees?
We'll say it's in poles up in the trees.
Oh, that's
too hard
good.
to dig it out.
That would be nice. What about the
circle way around? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I just said we would have to circle around and cut the power from farther down the hill.
I was already thinking of that, staying 100 meters out and arcing back so I can put cover fire and put eyes on the back door. So if anyone tries to escape, if things are getting bad, then no one will exit the building alive. I mean, it'll be covered.
Yeah.
And plus, well,
You think the power is probably coming in from the north side there. There's probably a box on the back back wall.
nice. Oh, good. Yeah, if it's got like a little oh, good, like a round or two, might just take that out. How? Oh, sorry.
So
We
should
don't have,
we
we don't have a suppressor though.
should one of us just go up and knock and the others keep an eye out?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
probably.
can do the black suit routine.
Yeah, one
Well,
or two.
I think if we show up here, whoever's involved in this is going to know that we've been tracking them.
Mhm.
Okay.
You guys are more tactical than I am, so maybe I should be the one who goes up, knocks on the door.
would-
I was gonna say I feel that Agent Crispy or I would like to go up and talk to the people and feel attracted to getting to the bottom of who these people are and why they're in this house.
Agent
But
Crispy's gonna die.
yeah, I'm conflicted about whether that's a good idea, and I'm thinking to Davis, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not thinking to my ex-wife anymore, but I'm thinking to my mother and to my son, and trying to keep it all straight in my head of what are my motivations anyway, and
What if we just went up and told them that Sydney called us here?
I
It was
think that's
Sydney,
not a bad
right?
idea. It was Sydney. It was Sydney who called us here.
Yeah, we got a phone call from a Sydney referencing this
No, she showed up and
residence.
wanted us to come here. We were in Vermont.
Mhm.
Just tell her the
Mhm.
truth. I mean, what's the worst she can do except suck us into her spider's lair and eat us?
Out of
Yeah,
curiosity,
sacrifice
is
us
That's
to
why you
some
guys are here.
dark
That's
god, whatever.
is the gravity sort of like pulling us in every direction towards the house?
Yeah, if you walk around the hill a little bit into the tree line,
It still pulls
yeah,
towards the
yeah,
house,
it's
no
still
matter which
pulling
side of the
towards the
hill we're
house.
on. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
I
And
Oh.
I will say, Kramer, if you do go through the woods to scope that out,
Mhm.
it's easy to stay undercover because it is pretty thick woods. You would notice that there are cameras on the back of the house as well. It is
Okay.
completely all the way around.
My,
It
my
strikes you as a little paranoid.
yeah. Is everyone else aware of this?
But you can
Yeah.
let him know. Yeah.
Okay, I will let them know. My intention is to stay in the tree line, 20 or so meters out, covering the, let's see, from the orientation of the map, the right side, that would
Okay.
be able to cover both the back door and the side door. If anyone exited, I would have a
Yeah.
clear LOS or a clear line of sight to
Perfect.
anyone exiting those doors.
Yep. And
Could
you
we-
would see parked on that eastern side. That's where that blue SUV is, and there's even like a natural gas tank up there too.
Oh, that's even better. Thank you for that.
If
And
if Crispy and I go up, we should have a signal. If I go up there and I put my hand on the back of my head, cut the power. And if I just suddenly drop dead, come in guns blazing and avenge me. Crispy,
Yeah,
are
so
you sure?
I'll be at the tree line in the front then.
Am I
Right.
sure? I think I have to be sure in this moment. I think that I've come this far in the opera. I'd like to see it through to the end.
Well, let's wait here for 20 minutes while everybody gets into position. I mean, are we agreed this is what we want to do?
Yeah.
Because right now we kind of think we're at the climax of this. We might just be getting on the tip of the iceberg for all we know.
Yeah.
Is there any sign of the SUV?
My
Yes, it's on the eastern side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like my concern is that, you know, we're going in with the least amount of information that we've had this entire time, purely because things have sort of converged rather serendipitously to the same point. And I am concerned that we are underprepared, but I equally am not sure, without conducting extensive interviews and canvassing, how much more prepared we can be. And in that time, someone else may indeed perish.
And
Um,
we are feeling a physical anomaly. Something
yeah,
is literally pulling towards the house.
yeah, there is some sort of presence here. Um, I'm concerned, but it's a bit late to turn back now. So let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have Kramer, Kendrick, and Carrot in the trees, and Crispy and Kinsey are going up to the front.
Yeah.
I will ask everyone to make an alertness roll, and those who are in the woods take it at a -20.
We're gonna go unthreateningly.
That is a point of contention, or question, I should say. Do you drive the car up? Because
No.
it's going to be real weird if you just walk up.
Yeah, no, we should leave the car like a half mile and
Yeah, we're gonna leave the car
make
where it
make that
is.
our rendezvous point if the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
And I would have passed, but the -20 makes it a failure.
Okay.
I failed. I got a 70.
Darn it.
So I'm not alert.
Yeah.
Darn.
It's
34 out of 50. Just missed it because
It's
of
not.
my 20.
Okay. Then in that case, Crispy and Kinsey, you walk up the path, and yes, as you're getting to the house, it's feeling unseasonably hot as you are arriving onto the porch. The wood squeaks underneath your feet, and you do faintly hear a little beep, beep, beep from inside. It sounds like a motion sensor alarm of some kind. And every window you pass along that front, it's just completely blackout
Blacked
curtained,
out.
shut windows the whole way. And yeah, the front door is at the southwestern side of the house, and there's a doorbell and everything. What are you guys doing?
Well, Crispy, if this is the last of it,
It was lovely
it's
knowing
nice
you.
to know you. Yeah.
Uh,
Is there a
Ring-
doorbell or is it just
Yeah,
done?
there's a doorbell.
Bing
Oh,
bong.
yeah. It
Make sure there's
takes,
not a trap
yeah,
door under the feet where we drop.
Pressure plate. Boom.
yeah. You check. There doesn't appear to be a pit trap there. Um, there is a little speaker near the door that crackles to life after a few moments, like the kind you'd see at an apartment almost, and it
Sure.
just says, "Go away. This is private property, and you're trespassing."
Karen Valdez.
No solicitors. There, you have no authority here, and you should just leave.
Do I recognize the voice as Sydney or Sylvia?
No. This
Okay.
definitely sounds like an older woman.
Okay.
Sydney told us to come here.
Um, no. I think you have the wrong house. Please go.
I think we don't have the wrong house, and that you had better let us in, or at least come to the door and speak to us in a little more detail.
Um, no,
Sydney
no.
Sydney contacted us in Vermont and brought us all this way. What was the other
The
little girl's name?
Sylvia.
It's about Sylvia.
and the speaker just sits there. You can hear a little bit of crackling behind it. I uh one of you Just one of you come over to the two windows down. Two windows.
Crispy.
Should I go then, Agent Kinsey? All right.
Yeah.
I'll shimmy down to the indicated window, peep in.
Yeah, you see after a moment just a single finger, and there's like an eye that you can see back there just looking out at you, and she doesn't open the window. Who are you?
I'm a
How did you
friend.
hear?
I know. You can trust me. And I'm going to take a deep breath, and as I'm maintaining eye contact, I want to try and tap into the sort of thing I had going with Robin, uh, some sort of vibe check,
Mhm.
remembering of the
Okay.
experience of overwhelming greatness to communicate to her that I know at least that much.
Yeah, make a power test for me.
Awesome. Ooh, dropping my dice. 55 under 60. Critical success.
Okay. You stand there for a moment, you center yourself, and the eye disappears and the finger goes away from the window, and very faintly you hear like just a little voice. You can't make out anything they're saying, and footsteps. And it takes a minute, and the footsteps come back down. And the just looking barely out the window. Just you. The side door.
Oh, I'll meet you there. And I'll look over to Kinsey and try to, I'm gonna go in the thing and cover me. Get that hand
Yeah.
ready to put at the back of your head.
Yeah, I probably step back to the edge of the porch as he does that. And I'm perking up my ears. I want to, if I hear him yell or scream or
Yeah.
anything, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna, yeah, go to the side door and I guess open it. Is it?
Well,
I'll
yeah,
knock first.
yeah, you knock. And I want to cut back to Agent Kinsey for just a moment. Kinsey, you're watching Crispy walk around, and you hear
Yeah,
very faintly on the window next to you a little tap.
I look over at the tapping on the window.
There's like a little like a woman's hand. It looks like an older woman's hand, not a girl. It's
Right.
kind of beckoning towards the window.
I'll move over towards it and lean down. Tom,
And you hear, I really don't think we should be interrupted. If you can just give us a minute or two, that would be wonderful. And I want you to make a power test.
52, and my POW is 70.
Okay. All right. There's something strange in the way she talks to you. Like she's trying to calm you down, but it doesn't. You're able to bite past the mental cotton in your ears.
It gives me a bad feeling.
It definitely gives you a feeling like you're struggling, like you just suddenly lost a bunch of sleep almost, right? Like you're just tired and you're able to snap yourself out of it.
Oh, okay. Crispy's already gone inside.
He's waiting by the door. You think she has not let him in at this moment. Why don't
Crispy,
you just let us go? Just let him in alone.
Crispy, I have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, Agent Kinsey. I'm gonna keep it sort of close to the door, but what is it?
There's something wrong. It feels like a trap.
What What makes you say that? Um, the spooky uphill gravity or the
The
cameras on
person
the sides of the
there's an old woman inside that just tried to convince me not to do anything to let you inside, but she was trying to force my mind to do something. And I managed to resist it, but there's some witchetty witchcraft. There's something going on here. Something's trying to overpower our minds.
I think I think sometimes you have to open yourself to the greater wholeness, Agent Kinsey. Sometimes things that seem frightening are just that way because we're so small and don't really know,
Greater
don't really
wholeness.
know
What
the
are you
whole truth.
talking about?
I
The door next to Crispy, you hear a little lock click, and the door cracks open a fraction.
I didn't I
Just you.
lied about what happened in Vermont. I went saw somewhere and felt felt a greater presence.
Me.
And I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in the door.
All right. You walk in the door and it closes very quickly behind Agent
Okay.
Crispy. And let's before we go and look at what Crispy's doing, what is Kinsey doing at this moment?
Well, I've stepped farther away from the house. I'm still on the porch, but I'm right on the edge. If there are little stairs coming up,
Yeah.
I'm right on the edge of the stairs. Uh, I'm listening intently. If I hear even the slightest or anything from Crispy, I might do it anyway. But at the
Okay.
moment, I'm hesitating.
Okay. Well, you definitely hear that door click shut behind Crispy and a lock like a bolt gets thrown. And Crispy, you are inside now this little back porch area. It is also completely cut off from the sunlight, so your eyes take a second to adjust as you really can't see much in here. There's a couple of night lights around that provide a little bit of dim light into this area so that you can walk, but this back porch looks like it just has a ton of years of family living just pushed back into this area. And you pretty quickly notice the woman that let you in there is Karen. She looks tired and she is not wearing her scarves. She's just dressed in scrubs, actually, like medical scrubs. And she's taking a look. My my daughter said she was talking with someone, and I didn't believe her. But you have it, don't you?
Hello, my name is Nicholas Rage. It's lovely to meet you. I was speaking to your daughter, yes.
She
Um,
just kind of looks at your hands up and down.
oh, I apologize. Of course, the you are clearly some sort of medical. I should respect your sanitary. Well, your daughter was talking to me. I
Yes, let's go see her.
Yes, let's go see
Time is
her.
of the essence. She's very sick.
Very good. Please, show me the way.
Yeah, she leads you into the kitchen, up back towards the hall, and starts to climb the stairs. You get up to the top there, and from the top of the stairwell, you can see there is a smaller room. The door is just slightly ajar. There's a little light peeking out from it. The door to the southwest side of the house, that door is open, and you can see a room that has a computer set up there. Looks like about three screens. You can see the cameras showing the different angles of around the house. There are additionally a lot of hanging herbs, crystals. It feels just like you can't help feel like Kinsey was onto something with a witchy kind of feel to it. But it's the last room, the last bedroom you assume that she gestures to. She's in here.
Very, very well. Shall I step in and greet her? Is that
Yes.
all right? Thank you.
Yeah, yes. What's your
Um,
humant at, Crispy?
That is a good question. My humant is a 60.
Okay. She's distracted and very clearly looking back, trying to look at the camera where you can see Kinsey outside. She's looking back and forth and kind of trying to keep track of him at the same time she's talking to you. She seems concerned that there's two of you.
Is everything all right, ma'am? Is there anything stressing,
Mhm.
concerning? I say with my hand on the door handle.
Yes, it's just she's been so sick for so long. And um
My
I
associate
can't
is a
I can't believe you're finally here.
we're
She's tearing up a little bit.
and I'm gonna take the gamble of approaching her. I don't think I'm going to hug her, but
Yeah,
I
that
want to
probably
take
that probably wouldn't go over.
a more comforting attitude and say, well, my colleague outside is a highly qualified medical professional who I'm sure could be of great assistance with the sickness of your daughter. We're
No,
here
no,
to
no,
help
no.
you.
No, I've got that. I used to be a I used to do that. I'm fine. What she needs is you. Just you can go talk with her, please.
Very well.
And she opens the door to the other room and pushes it, and you can see dust motes flowing out of this and balmy air just as soon as the door is open rushes out. Yeah, there's a sick smell of rot that washes out. And looking inside, you can see there is that same plastic protection unit around a hospital bed there, the same one you had in your vision.
Is is this is her, isn't it? I'm gonna
Yeah.
slowly walk towards the curtain one step at a time.
And the door closes behind you with
Oh
a
no.
soft click. And I want to cut to outside and see what the team out there is doing.
I'm listening very intently for the slightest noise.
Yeah.
We
Listening.
we've got like little comms back
Sure.
and forth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, Kendrick, do you see Crispy from your angle?
I got nothing. He just went inside.
He just
Ken-
went inside. Fuck.
Affirmative, inside the house.
The one fucking thing I told him not to do. All right. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Um, he may already be dead. We're in a lot of shit. Um,
Permission to open fire, sir?
yeah, fuck. Um,
Kinsey, while Carrot, you're thinking about this, Kinsey, go ahead and do another alertness check for me.
Okay. 94. Not alert at all.
Okay. Yep. You're just hanging out by the front, listening very hard. You're not hearing anything.
Wishing that I had sign language that I could tell my people.
Kinsey, do you have visual?
Do I have comms?
Yeah, yeah. We'll say you
Oh.
all have some form of comms, and in fact, Crispy, you could probably overhear some of this going on.
So I will cover my mouth so that it can't be seen.
Yep.
And I will explain. I'll say I'll go over the entire thing of what just happened. I am listening very carefully. If I hear him call out, that I will give you the signal. but something is definitely inside. Something is trying to convince us of something. I'm able to resist. But I'd hold just for another minute or two. I'm losing my patience. I am losing my patience.
Yeah.
Agent Carrot, do I have clearance to disable the vehicle? Over.
I think the vehicle's the least of our problems.
Say the word and I will light this place up.
This is not good. This is not good at all.
Why is everything blacked out?
I suspect that this woman is incredibly paranoid. Yeah, she's separated you already, which means she's probably very unhappy about having multiple people come to her place. I am nervous that rushing in will get Agent Crispy killed, but I'm also nervous that Agent Crispy has killed himself by going in alone.
I can hear what sounds like electronic beeping. So there's definitely something. If we cut the power, it'll cut something inside there. I'm just afraid that it's life support. Like in a hospital room, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, and you're faintly hearing that over the comms from Crispy. You were hearing a little bit of conversation, maybe between the two of them, probably a little muffled, just from inexperience with these. Well, you're an ATF agent. You're probably used to having a wire.
We can hear Crispy.
Oh yeah, so can Crispy hear us? Can we
say if he opens the comms and does that, yeah, maybe you bop it as you're coming into the room.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
While I'm up there on the porch,
yeah.
I'm going to kind of look and see if there's anything else unusual about. Does it look like there's a basement?
Does not look to be a basement, no.
But the house is built up a little off the ground.
Yes, a little bit there. And you're looking through the front lawn, and I'm unfortunately letting your previous alertness roll ride, unless you change what you're doing. Of just, you're looking.
My 76, which is not a good roll. All right, so I'm just there trying to hear if Crispy's going to be in distress.
Garrett, I will ask, are you asking to look for something like that specifically?
Oh, no, I'm mouthing off because if she's got fucking dead bodies all over the joint. When I hear
like
like
this.
beeping, my concern would be like some level of like booby trapping around the house. It's very comic book to be like, oh, there are explosive devices and they're beeping real close by. But
I want you to make an alertness roll because you do see
this lady seems real paranoid and paranoid people do weird shit and I don't like it. I don't like it, Nathan. I don't like it. I failed my alertness roll.
Okay. What you definitely do see is that near the back of the lot by some trees, there are some wooden crosses that almost blend in. They're overgrown, but it definitely looks like that might be like a family burial site.
Yeah. So that's all her family, they got cancer. Yeah.
And because you were specifically looking for it, there is near that front porch about maybe 2 or 3 meters from the front porch, there is a small mound of upturned earth. maybe about yay big.
Yay big.
About yay big. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm going to tell Kinsey about it very calmly. And Kinsey,
I'll look at it when he says it.
there is a small mound nearby.
I see it.
I am concerned what a paranoid person is going to do around their house. Please be careful.
You think a landmine? That's pretty paranoid.
This is a crazy, like, grieving widow. I don't know if landmines are really within her thing, but like, maybe one of those little like pit traps. You know how they had
yeah.
like
Okay,
in wars where you
my
put your weight on it and it just sort of goes down. You can't get your foot back out, something like that. Maybe I don't know.
my patience and
It's freaking me
concern
out.
has reached its end.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back over to the doorbell and ring it a couple times.
Well, I will say, you said you kind of stooped down to look maybe at this thing.
Yeah.
You didn't. This is what you failed to notice multiple times. There's a little antenna poking out of the earth right there. And you're beginning to think that Carrot is 100% right.
That it's an explosive.
There's a decent chance you're about a meter away from an explosive device right at this moment.
Okay. Well, if I go back farther up onto the porch and then ring the doorbell, I'm farther away from it.
Yeah, you're far. You don't think you're outside the range of it, is what I would say.
Okay. I've given this enough time. Hand on the back of my head. Cut the power. Come in. Watch out for the landmines.
All right, fucking watch out for upturned piles of dirt, I guess. Jesus, okay. That's what I get for fucking joking around. End up with fucking landmines here.
Can I instead? I mean, I'm still doing all of that, but if I get farther away on the porch, can I like pull out my knife and throw it at the pile and see if it goes off like a bomb?
Oh, you certainly can. It would not do anything. Let's say you do that. It doesn't seem like it's that kind of bomb, as it just kind of lands. I mean, you hit it. Give me an alertness check again, please.
I got an 11. That's outstanding.
Oh, that's good. So you're backing up by the front door.
Yeah.
You get back there, you throw it at the one kind of by the front porch. Then you think, one landmine? What if you turn your head and you see probably about 3 meters away from the edge of the house, there's another landmine with the small antenna poking out.
There's landmines all over the place. I'd say cut the power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kramer, are you cutting the power?
Yes. But with landmines, I'm not going to go over to the power box out of the house. I will put a couple well-placed rounds into it then.
Okay. I would like you to make a firearms check, please.
Now, okay, alrighty. Where am I? There it is. Okie dokie. Oh, goodness gracious! I thought that was an 89. Oh, jeez, I got it 69 out of 80.
Okay, very nice. You take a couple rounds and you shoot this box. Sparks start to fly, and the power on the house goes out. And I want to cut back to Crispy, who's, yes, you've been hearing kind of this talk, this frantic bit, but there's also a small voice you're hearing from behind these plastic sheets in what's very clearly a child's room as your eyes are again adjusting to the different light levels as there are decorations around. There's small toys here and there. You're thinking probably about a 13-year-old girl, maybe, has this room and a shape on the bed. Painfully, it looks like, tries to look at you through the plastic.
But the whole room is dusty and dilapidated and rotten.
It's
And
it's more muggy.
okay.
It's almost like a condensation kind of feel, like you're already sweating just being in the room. And there are these little like floaters that are going past your eyes. It's a very strange way to see. And you just hear a faint voice. Is that you, Nick?
It is. And the power, have I noticed the power going off? What is
It cuts out right
okay.
at that moment. The beeping stops.
Oh, oh, it's suddenly it's me. It's me. It's suddenly so dark in here. I'm just gonna go over to this window here and open the blinds to let some
No,
light in
no,
and
don't.
maybe pull up
It
the
hurts. Please, don't hurt me. I just
I
want your help.
I need to be able to see what I'm doing. I mean, these blackout curtains are really
Please come here, Nick.
I'll come, but first I am going to go over and open the blackout curtains and open the sash.
Yeah,
Um,
it light streams in, and again, you're somewhat blinded from the light. You hear a pained cry from the bed. Just this, please, it hurts.
oh,
My
oh,
eyes.
I'll try to adjust it. Basically, I want to have line of sight, unimpeded line of sight out of
Mhm.
the building, but
Okay, yeah,
without
yeah,
triggering her, basically.
yeah. You
Um,
can see outside
okay.
as there's a little bit, and just this voice. Please, Nick, come here.
And as I walk over to her, I want to make sure that my wire is such that the boys can hear what's
Yep.
happening. Um, I'm here. Are you Sylvia? Or Sydney? I apologize.
Sydney,
I got your
please.
message. I got your call. I'm right here, and I'll
Mhm.
open the plastic curtain.
And you open it, and there is, looks like about a 13-year-old girl, somewhat on her side, pointed away from the window.
Mm,
Her face is pretty normal looking, although gaunt. She looks like you get the impression she would be dead right now if her mother wasn't a doctor. She looks very ill. And because she's turned on her side, you can see that her insides don't look right. Like it's not a kind of flat shape. There's lumps and tumorous growths in the middle. And she's struggling to talk. You see, she's hooked up with an IV and everything. Nick, she's just trying to help me.
what what's going wrong? Are you in pain?
Yes, I'm dying.
Mm. And your mother is saving you?
Yes,
But how
please
did
come
you?
closer.
I'll step to just outside of arm's distance. Um, how did you? How did you contact us? How did you reach out?
You're awakened like me. That poor girl. She unlocked it within you. The mother's gifts.
You mean
You have
Robin,
it too.
the mother? Is that what all this is about? The mother? Who is this mother?
And there's a little bit of just something black and oozing that starts to stain the bed beneath it. Her breath smells awful. The mother of moons. She made us, and she can make us so much more.
It seems like you're rotting away there. Is this the mother's doing?
The mother is trying to save me, but I need your help.
What can I do?
Put your hand upon my forehead, please.
Um, oh, I'm gonna slowly reach out
Okay.
towards her forehead, but oh, I'm
At-
trying to.
Yeah, and that's where we cut to the
Yeah,
other
this is
four.
really-
Yep,
I need a
perfect.
minute. Thank you.
Okay, I'm busting in the door.
Front door. All right.
Yeah,
You give it a kick, and it breaks fairly easily. And you have a split second. So I'm gonna need to know what you do as you feel something push away from the door and a ping, and you see a small little ring fly past you. What do you do?
I dive flat back out onto the porch in the front.
Okay. There is a loud concussive flash bang like Kramer and Kendrick. You've heard this before. Bam. And even like Kinsey, you're blinded by the light. It's just you're right there as that goes off. And I need you to make a luck roll for me.
56. So,
Okay.
no luck.
We
So
have
yeah. Carrot, I want to know there's this explosion. Kendrick, Carrot, and Kramer, where are you at this moment?
I'm laying.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
Go for it, Kramer. Go for it, Kramer.
Okay. I'm on the side of the house with the back door and
Mhm.
the porch door. I'm covering that, and I'm laying prone in the bushes about 20 meters out,
Okay.
covering both doors.
Yes,
Love it.
I'm similarly facing the front of the house, probably a 90 degrees offset from Kramer.
Okay. And Carrot.
Um, when this blast goes off, my first instinct is to message Agent Jeepers with our coordinates, last known like
Yep.
things that
Yep.
we were doing,
Uh,
and then like some level of you're not looking for bodies,
okay.
uh, and then I will start to proceed towards the house, being mindful of the upturned piles of earth.
And you are like you hear that bang. Kinsey, you jump down, you hit the ground, and it's quiet for a moment. The others are watching. Carrot, you're typing away. And Kinsey, you are blown against the wall through the front windows as the front yard landmine explodes and is a lethality of 15%. And I rolled a 76. So that is 13 points of damage to Agent Kinsey.
13 points of damage. I've only got 10, so
So what the others will see is
I'm
there is a
vaporized.
yeah, there is a blast. The front of the house implodes in. Crispy, you feel this, and Kinsey, you rocket back into the dark. And we'll go back to Crispy upstairs. There is a shake in the house, and The girl's like, no, please, hurry.
Okay, I have my hand hovering over her forehead, and I feel the shake and the rattle. And suddenly I look to the window, and I've been waiting for this moment. I want to trigger my apportation ritual. And
Okay.
touching and feeling my relationship with the mother, rediscover the very teleportation experience I had in Vermont and have been concealing this whole time and have known to do this whole time, and teleport myself right out the window and get the fuck out of here.
All right. Go ahead and give me a 1d100 roll.
Let's see if this succeeds. I don't know. Maybe I should have let Crispy die. That's sort of an above the table decision.
No, this is great.
I'm not sure about, but I wanted to use this. I got a 5.
Okay. You hear from the bed this cry of pain as you feel your body ripping against the fabric of reality. It's not a feeling you've ever had before. I want you to take a d4 of willpower damage, a d4 of hit point damage, and lose one sanity.
So
And
different D4s for willpower and hit.
yep, different d4s.
Okay, so that's lost 1 willpower, lose 3 health, and lose 1 sanity as well.
Yes.
Okay.
As where do you teleport to?
I am trying to get out the window is my goal. I think I mean, Crispy wouldn't know this, but if I had to give a number to the distance that I feel capable of traveling, I'd guess about 10 meters.
10 meters? Yeah, that feels about right.
So I'm trying to get out, preferably to the ground so I fall without breaking my leg.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily aware of the existence of the landmines, but having just heard an explosion, I can infer.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the crater out this front window, so yeah, you're pretty aware. But yeah, you up here, so Kendrick and Carrot especially see Crispy just wink into existence in the lawn.
And begin sprinting immediately for the car. Just gone. Screaming my head off the whole time, like it was in the hospital.
All right.
Oh man. If you're an NPC, I immediately shoot him. I don't want to get too PvP about it, but that's not okay.
Are you giving the orders to open fire?
What's the word, boss?
I'm fine with it above the table. Like I'm totally comfortable with that.
See, I feel like this is a bit of a Point Break situation where like, the gun is trained on you, and I just can't pull the fucking trigger. And I'd start.
Okay. I
Well,
love it.
the job's not done here. Fucking like it or not, we need to get this finished.
Waste
the house is,
boss.
it's time to clear house, both literally and metaphorically. Kramer, you still have the hand grenades, don't you?
Yes. 2 frag,
Okay.
flashbang, and then plenty of ammunition for the 50 cal handgun and the M14.
So as morbid as it is, bombs can't explode twice. So we're gonna have to approach the house from the same direction that Agent Kinsey was. And then because Agent Crispy opened the curtains, I imagine there is a particular window that sticks out more than the others now, just by sheer fact of like it being lighter.
Yep, you definitely saw some movement.
If it is possible, if it's possible to maneuver in such a manner to avoid the landmines, get around to that side of the house, and then lob maybe a large rock through the window first to break it, and then a hand
Yep.
grenade through. I think that is the least we immediately die solution. That still solves the problem at hand. And like the old lady needs to die. Like it's just this. It is nuclear time, and the house and its inhabitants are the problem.
Sir, there is
Agent Crispy can be on a watch list.
there is a large gas tank right outside the house. We could set the house on fire and then shoot anything that moves fleeing the house.
We could do that.
That way we could guarantee the house would go away and the occupants would as well.
Well, from assuming Agent Crispy's comms were held open the entire time he was interacting with the little girl, we'd have some rough idea that like this kid can't approach him, so she's stuck in some respect in that room. I would like to maximize, I guess, lethality of this is not an okay situation. I still want to throw.
As you're thinking about that, I'd like all four of you to make a power check real quick for me.
Ooh. Holy cow. Look at that. 004. Succeed with flying.
That should be a
75
success.
over 55 is a fail.
Yeah.
74.
That is a success for me.
Okay. Those that succeeded feel something trying to reach out to you, brush against your mind like a stray thought. The two that failed, you feel this gravity of the hill start to increase, and that spider web like negative line, you feel it starting to appear and pull you back.
Pull us back towards the house or away from
Back
the
towards
house?
the house. Yeah, and Kendrick, if you were like flat, it is pulling you along the ground.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
make a sanity test, the two of you.
This doesn't end with us running away. It ends with
another fail.
them or us or both dead.
Fail.
That's just how it is.
Are we gonna shoot these guys or what?
Yes.
D4 on
fucking
failure.
Weapons hot. Let's go.
I set off the gas tower next to the house if possible.
Yeah. I'm gonna unload an entire clip then if I'm well, how much sand did I lose?
D4. D4, yep. Absolutely, Kramer, you start just shooting this gas tank, and it doesn't take too long before that side of the house, the blue SUV, is completely demolished, and this massive fireball that rises above the tree line, it slams against that front porch and through the porch walls. But the house itself is not like burning on fire at this point.
Is it at least slightly caught?
Yeah, slightly. But fires, that's gonna take a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll just cover it to make sure no one puts it out. If anyone tries putting it out, they'll get around.
I like it. All right. Kramer's on Overwatch. Kendrick, what are you doing? You haven't checked in for a minute.
I think as long as the house keeps pulling me towards it, I'm just gonna keep unloading clip after clip after clip into it.
Okay. Are you aiming at anything specifically or just the house in general?
I am just strafing the house to get every part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a luck test, please.
Okay.
Because you might get lucky.
75. That's probably not going to do it.
Probably not. I was looking for a crit to do that, but you are, just the side of the house is catching. Carrot, are you doing your plan at this point?
Yeah, we're full grenade in the window at this point.
All right. Go ahead and do a roll of the athletic variety.
Of the
Now, is
athletic
that
variety.
an
You mean the thing that I'm
actual
really bad at?
skill? Yeah.
I rolled a 2. I rolled a
Get
fucking
out.
2.
1.
I failed almost every single roll at all bloody game, but I rolled a 2.
All right. I would like you to make a damage roll for that. That is a lethality of 15%. So roll 2d10 and tell me what you get.
Uh, so it's a percentage roll.
Yep.
Is
Yes.
that correct? Or
Yes. Best
So
case,
I
you're gonna
rolled a
get
73 on the percentage roll.
okay. That's pretty much what you want is if you can't hit it, get a high number because you hear this grenade explode in this room and there is a scream of pain. It sounds like Karen probably caught the blast and yeah, the windows just shatter outwards from there. And
Mm. Mm, 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 mm,
it's
mm.
quiet, but those tendrils are still pulling Kendrick and Crispy back towards the house.
Job's not done. Job is not done. Fuck. Um,
Crispy, what are you doing at this moment? You're
Yeah.
like, are you still trying to run against it?
Well, I guess so. I was running, and then I was ensnared by the thing, and I'm now being dragged up.
Yeah,
I'm
you might be
reflecting.
able to. Yeah, you might
Yeah.
be able to run, but it's kind of pulling you back.
Yeah. I think Crispy, am reflecting on motherhood and parenting and my relationship with my own son and the mother of my son, whom I let down by my own arrogance, and my own mother, whom I disappointed. Um, and I'm gonna turn on my back as I get pulled up the hill and watch the clouds, and then with a single tear streaking down my face, pull out my little handgun and shoot myself.
Oh shit. Oh wow. All right. Well, you don't need to roll for that. And that's when, yes, exactly. There's the bang, Kendrick and Karen.
yeah.
You see Crispy's body jolt and then go limp as he's still slowly going up the hill, leaving a trail of blood. That is a sanity roll. How'd you do on the sanity roll?
Oh, not so good.
And a D6 will
Uh,
get you what?
Yeah, I lost one on that one,
Oh, okay.
fortunately.
That's
But I
good.
think if I lose another one, that's going to put me down at a breaking point.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think anything should happen during this. How'd Carrot do with that?
I did in fact succeed my
Yeah, just one. So
sanity
in the
roll,
end, it's
thankfully.
equal. Yeah. But yeah, that's
Far
going
out.
on. There was another explosion from that gas tank off to the side going. The house is slightly burning, but whatever's upstairs is still pulling on you.
Mm.
And I'm worried
Yeah.
about being dragged
Unfortunately,
through the
the,
minefield, like because I was, and so I think what I would probably try to do is like take out a knife and just jab it into the ground and try to hold on to it or
Ooh,
something.
nice. Give me a strength check then.
No, no, 92 over 60. Oh
All
boy, the
right.
rolls are just not going my way.
Yeah, you get it in the ground, but it's pulling you back. You're cutting through the earth back
Yeah.
towards the house.
Okay.
Kramer, yes.
Um,
What would you like to do?
Question. During any of the comms we had when Crispy was inside, would have I gotten the indication that he was upstairs encountering this, or
Yeah,
was
I think that's a pretty safe assumption to
okay?
make.
If that's the case, then the next thing is I am guessing the explosion that happened really close to the house with that tank probably blew out the windows upstairs.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Okay, then I would like to throw a frag grenade
Okay.
through an upstairs blown out window.
Make another athletics test, please.
An athletics test. Okay. Where's it? Oh, come on. Really? It's just going to come down to 50-50.
Oh boy.
There's no soldier training for throwing grenades.
That's why you're at 50.
Oh, come on. 53. That's not fair. Okay.
Um, it doesn't go in the window. It bounces off. It's not like it doesn't land in your lap or anything, but it lands on the side of the house and explodes. And you see another one of these landmines kind of towards the back of the house where you were also goes off again.
Got it.
But luckily, no one is right by it at this moment. Carrot, what are you thinking?
Uh, Look, this is not going to finish until whatever is still alive. And actually, I am pulling my weapon and I am venturing into the nearest entry point of the house.
Okay.
Full like Weaver stance, gun up, just tiptoeing through.
Yeah, I love it.
So I imagine if I've thrown through the nearest, I think the nearest window would be near where Agent Kinsey got blown up, unfortunately.
Yeah. I will say that that makes complete
Like
sense
door
to
rather.
me. Yeah,
Like towards the front.
you go to the front door and you see the front window has been blown apart and you definitely see some bits of Kinsey around. And as you open the door, light is at this point streaming in
Mm.
through the open window. You can see Kinsey's body is dangling from the ceiling where it was caught on hundreds of
Fuck.
fish hooks that were set to kind of in the door. Basically,
Oh
if you
fuck!
jumped in the door, you would have gotten fish hooked. So make a sanity test.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Rather ingenious, crazy, and like very dangerous, but ingenious. Come on, sorry, I'm having to use an online dice roll because I'm away from
Yeah, no, that's fine. Perfectly fine.
my house currently. 35 is a success.
Okay. You are
I
just take
succeeded.
one, and I want to know where you're going in the house.
All right, so basically, I'm going to be calling out for Karen. Now I know she ate some amount of grenade, but she is the first person that I believe I need to neutralize. Um, so if she's not in this front room,
Mhm.
then I will head along. So I'm just going to pull up the yeah. So I'm going to head through the living room and
Yep.
into the dining room.
Okay. Make me an alertness test.
Um, yeah, gun out. Still, like I'm 11. I sit in the hotel room looking at the internet, not running forth with guns. But everyone else is dead, so it's just me. 41. Oh fuck, my alertness is 40, isn't it?
Is it truly?
Oh,
Okay. As Agent Carrot is walking through the dining room, hurrying towards the back, he sees the top half of Karen Valdez's head has fallen down the stairwell, and her one remaining eye is looking at you as you feel a click as a tripwire that was running through the dining room
ah,
clicks.
fuck.
and the back half of the house explodes, and does 13 damage to Agent Carrot.
Okay, let me just double check that one. And I'm dead.
I thought so. I am rolling absolutely cruelly on these lethality rolls. So Kramer and Kendrick, the two of you are what's left. Kendrick is struggling against being pulled. The back house, half of the house has exploded, and I mean, the line is dead from Carrot. What are you two doing?
I mean, the shooting the house wasn't working. Trying to hold the knife in the ground wasn't working. So I'm going to try to dig out the two grenades I have. That's the only thing I could think of right now.
Okay. And are you trying to eat them?
Well,
What's your
is the
plan?
front door open at this point?
Yeah. I'd say the house has really had a number done on it at this point, is
Yeah,
all the
then
downstairs windows are open.
I think that's the most obvious target, as I will just try to lob them inside the door.
Okay. They will go off in the downstairs. Are you aiming upstairs?
I mean, if it's possible to aim upstairs, a
Yeah,
bonus, but
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, then that's what I'll
you've got
do.
a good arm. Yeah, go
It's a
ahead and
wide
do an
open view.
athletics. Yeah, exactly. Do an
Athletics.
athletics check. You're
Okay.
basically lobbing them from the side that the exploded car is on.
44 under 60. That's a success.
All right. There is another explosion from inside, and this time you hear a scream of something as you see the explosion has knocked something against the wall, and a small arm is trying to reach out the window, and the other arm, and you see half of a girl's face, and then the rest has grown this horrible tumor growth that is sprouting eyes and mandibles, you would say. Mandible seems about right. It's very, very badly injured, but it's trying to pull itself through the window. So make a sanity check for me. And Kramer, you go ahead too, because you'll see this as well.
Yeah.
26. That's a success.
Okay, just one.
Okay.
This is
I
not
think
right.
I think that one is enough to put me down to a breaking point, though, for what it's worth.
Okay,
29 success. Do
okay,
I
just one.
do a second? Okay. Do do I perceive Kramer being pulled into the house
Yeah,
against his will?
yeah,
No,
Okay.
you're
you can
Kramer.
see the line. Yeah, Kramer, you're fine. It
I
is
mean,
Kendrick getting pulled, and it seems very much towards this thing now. Now that it's
okay.
visible.
So
Yeah.
if I perceive Kendrick is being pulled against his will over, then I'm going to bolt to Kendrick and try to just grab him and pull him back to get the hell out of here.
Okay. You run over, you grab him, and now you're pulling on him, and Kendrick, that's slowing you down. Kramer, give me a strength check
Yeah.
as this body that's hanging out the window, the mandible is
Come
pulling at this
on.
thing.
I can't believe this. I've got great strength, but I rolled an 89. My
Okay.
rolling's all coming out now when it really matters.
Kendrick, Kramer is losing his grip on you. You are being pulled towards the house. What are you doing?
It's time to take out my pistol. I'm going to shoot the girl.
All right, give me a firearms check.
66 over 60. That's a fail.
It makes total sense as you are shooting and shooting. It's difficult because your aim's not quite there. Kramer, you have a second as you feel Kendrick getting pulled from your grasp up towards the second story. What do you do?
Okay, I'm gonna instead of like trying to pull him, I'll switch back into linebacker days and just like try to tackle him down with all my might and then run away with him.
Okay, give me one more strength roll to just get up there and get him down.
Oh, that's a big number. I should have a nice, easy. Wow, 001.
Wow.
All right. That is perfect. As you, Kendrick, your feet have left the ground. You're being pulled. Kramer slams into you, pulls you down, and you see that tether that was pulling you pulls this thing instead, and it flops forward out of the window, and it's more chitinous and bulky than you would have expected, but it's oozing from hundreds of shrapnel areas. It's clearly in pain, and you hear this horrible, like bug stepping crack as it hits the ground.
Yeah.
And it's very feebly at this point crawling towards the two. It can't seem to pull on you as much as it wants to. And what are the two of you doing? That was a critical success, so you have a second.
Oh,
I'm going to unload into it.
Okay. At this point, you don't need to make a check for it as the is it fair to say Kramer? Kramer, are you helping?
yeah. I'll if it seems like Kendrick is not being drawn in any longer and he's kind of free,
Yeah.
under his own power, then yeah, I'll then shift to just unload a magazine into this thing.
Okay. Then we see Kendrick and Kramer, you unload, you probably run out of ammo, slot in another, unload again, and this thing stops moving and just kind of collapses and is seeping out on the front lawn. What are the two of you doing?
Can we burn it? Let's get the well. If the sanity, if I haven't lost all sanity,
Mm-mm,
then
no.
I would like to burn the thing. But I haven't taken a sanity check yet for seeing this thing, though.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and do a sanity check. Yeah, we're probably a
Yeah,
little behind for you.
just a little bit. Look
Because
at
yeah,
that.
this is the moment you're
29.
seeing. Okay, go ahead and do a D4, and this will be the cumulative seeing the bodies around this area.
2 points.
All right.
Okay.
Because
So,
yeah, at this moment, everything's quieting down, and you do take a look, Kramer, you're starting to set this on fire. Crispy is dead on the front driveway. Carrot, you're pretty sure got blown up in the back half of the house. Kinsey's body is hanging inside. What are you two doing with this scene? This is a bad scene.
yeah, yeah. I
You
think
think?
it's well established that this equals bad. um, I would just try to ensure the house is ablaze and then
Okay.
bug out.
Yeah, it's got to all be burned.
Okay.
All the bodies, everything.
Okay. Absolutely. You throw the bodies in. The place is already up, but you can set it further ablaze. And you bug out. I'd like to do a little bit of a post scene is what do you guys do after you get out?
Um, yeah, contact contact Agent Jeebers. Just go a couple towns away
Mhm.
and get a motel room, stand in the shower for 2.5 hours, and then contact Agent Jeepers.
And you just hear yeah, this is Jeepers. I sorry I couldn't find you that green box.
Um, well, things went a little bit south here. We've lost 3 agents.
Okay.
Uh, However, we believe we neutralized all compromised targets. And I
Excellent.
give the coordinates for that incident.
Okay. We'll send a follow-up team. Good work. Uh, two that's left. Um, we'll be in touch. Congratulations on your promotion. You're now the leader of K-Cell.
Thank you.
The phone goes dead in your hands.
Kendrick.
What did she say?
She seemed to be okay with the outcome and that we have a promotion coming for K-Cell.
That's how you get promoted around here, huh?
I suppose they will be in touch shortly. I don't fully understand what that means. So I don't know if that means we will be killed shortly or if we actually will be promoted shortly.
I guess we'll see.
Ooh, that's such a good line to fade away on the two of you. And I'm going to go in order of death here. Agent Kinsey, what's a scene with one of your bonds now that you don't come back from where you said you were going?
My two bonds are my brother Timothy and my nephew Peter. Um, I'd say because I've disappeared before, it takes them about 2 weeks
Mhm.
before they start to worry. And at 3 weeks, they start to try and find out where I went, but they have absolutely no trace. They file police reports, they do missing persons, and the police, of course, tell them ultimately, well, sometimes people who go missing just don't want to be found. And that's the end of me. Nobody knows whatever happened. They never get closure.
Yeah, yeah. They're always waiting to see if Dr. Barista will show up, but
Yeah.
he doesn't. All right. How about Agent Crispy?
Um, what, how long has it been from our initial contacting to our deaths here?
It was about 2.5 days.
It was about 2.5 days. So my ex-wife is going to contact me because it's going to be Davis's time to stay with me, my son Davis's time to stay with me. I'm
Mhm.
not going to be available. She's going to talk about it to her therapist, but not think much of it. Um, then my mother is going to contact her. Um, and then I think Davis is going to come forward telling a weird story about receiving some
Yeah.
strange phone call. And then I began to get upset and confused on the other line. And then it all went dead and there was a terrible racket. Um, I imagine they'll never find me.
Yeah. I suspect that is exactly the case. And yeah, Davis has a hard time with that, I suspect.
That's so
Dad giving a
sad.
weird call and disappearing.
Poor kid.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. That's the job. Agent Carrot. How about you?
Well, Agent Geller really stuck his neck out for me getting me to this job in the first place. And when I don't come back from this job, I imagine that Agent Geller sighs a heavy sigh, lights up a cigar, and then pulls out his burner phone and contacts some agents for a job.
Very nice. Very nice. Like it. And with that, we will wrap up presents. Thanks everybody for playing.
Now
That was
spill
really
the
fun.
beans.
Thanks.
Yes.
Dude, that was so good.
What was
that was
going
so
on?
good. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So much.
I think you got some of it, and some I really enjoyed hearing everybody's theories as we went. So what happened is Sydney got sick, right? Just like Sylvia had, just like her father had. And this was the final straw for Karen. She decided she could not take it anymore. So she spent time after Sylvia died starting to research more interesting methods of healing. And in fact, she went up to Vermont and found some of the information. And somebody said Migo at one point, and you know it's not Delta Green if it isn't the Migo. She did contact some of these. She saw them as Hylearoi, like spirits of the woods. That's what she saw, and they never corrected her. But it's a funny thing about the Migo. They worship, you know, the mother of moons, old Shubsy herself. So that ties into a lot of this is she's able to give you more power. She's the progenitor of life. So there are psychic people. Robin is psychic. Emily, in this case, is psychic. And when she and Crispy had that moment, three of the agents were able to be psychic. Crispy, Carrot, and Kinsey had a high enough power or stat in another way. Crispy, you happened to be the one that she locked eyes on, and that unlocked your latent abilities. And from that point, Crispy really was her tether to the group, is where he was, she was too, giving Kramer dreams, giving out visions, that sort of thing. And of course, by the end of it, the three people that were eligible for her to take the body of, because that was her plan, is Sydney needs a new body, preferably a psychic one. That's why Robin was there. All these people that were getting kidnapped were being kidnapped by Karen, taken to the woods after she fascinated them with the same spell she tried on you, Kinsey. And she was trying to implant Emily's consciousness into these other girls. Robin is psychic, so when that implant was attempted, there she goes. She latently was able to teleport away before that could happen. So that's where it became a case of they wanted Robin back. If you had not tracked her here, she would have kidnapped Robin again later. But she would have made do with Crispy if he'd just come a little closer.
You almost had me.
Yeah. But Carrot, you are 100% correct. Is she, and there were some hints throughout, like with the baseball running path for the mines and stuff, of she had contacted some really like sovereign citizen people that were really very much the no one can come on my property but me, and
Yeah.
outfitted that whole downstairs pretty much. The kitchen and half of the hallway and the back porch were the only safe areas.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
So actually, if,
Wow.
her
if,
house
if
is
Crispy
no
hadn't
joke.
shot himself, he would have potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
oh,
then
that's-
if you get like if you get stabbed, you're fine. Except you start making power tests as Emily starts to take over your psyche, and you could eventually become her. But no one got this time. Not by her at least.
Nice.
That was a really outstanding game.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for
Yeah,
playing,
That
everybody.
was
That was
so good.
that was
Yeah.
very fun to see how you went about this.
Our players included Stuart Lively, Stefan Amshi, Riley Kruger, Preston Firestone, and myself with Nathan Decker as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.